Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Matt Dimas here. I'm joined by Gold818, and welcome to a podcast, I guess. We're going to be talking about CES 2020. We're going to be talking about each conference, Sony, AMD, Intel, etc. And we'll just give our thoughts and whatnot about some exhibitions. So, where do you think we should start, Gold? Let's have a look
What
here.
was the first conference of CES 2020?
Let me just look it up. Power of Google, ladies and gentlemen. It's powerful. Okay, CES 2020 first conference. We'll just start from the very beginning. I think it was Sony. Wait, was it Samsung?
I thought it was AMD. No, I think it was Samsung, right?
How about we just talk about, whatever we can remember. I don't really think it's...
Yeah.
We'll just
Yeah,
start... Let's just start with Samsung.
This is a little late. This is kind of like a week after, so some of it went through and so forth. Samsung and LG, I'm going to kind of combine both of them as well. Both of them had very solid press conferences. They definitely were trying to one-up each other.
Yeah.
Big into the smart TVs, smart refrigerators, especially. I have not seen any of those used anywhere. I've seen them in Best Buy, but I've never seen like any of the actual smart TVs. I haven't seen a single person with a smart TV on their fridge, like the little screens and so forth like that.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at those and I was like, they're cool, but I really don't see them around. Now, Bali was that Intel?
I think it was Samsung.
I think it was Samsung.
Yeah, it was Samsung, and they released the personal
just a
trainer
little
thing as well.
BB-8 thing.
Yeah, it's cute. I mean, I like it. Like, let me just load up a picture of it. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, it's just a little...
I just constantly think, like, if I was to have that in my house, like, the battery would die and I'd just trip over it. Like, I never really think of, like, this thing actually helping you for anything. It's definitely one of those products you buy for somebody. They use it a lot the first week,
and
then they forget it exists.
Kind of like my Xiaomi AirDots, the wireless earbuds that I bought. I actually lost one of them, and I can't friggin' find it for the life of me. Not that they even work with my Bluetooth 4.0 iPod anyway, so I kind of fucked myself there.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least Samsung's trying to, do something. It's always gonna... Samsung always try different things from time to time, and... I guess they just wanted to just put out something that was different.
Refrigerators, TVs.
Yeah, because they usually just put out fridges, computer monitors, and Samsung.
See, I feel like both LG and Samsung are both becoming more appliance companies. Like if you take a look at their press conferences, and less tech companies.
Yeah, I did notice that. That's funny.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm like, all right, so I feel like they're trying to fill the void where GE left behind, because GE used to fill that space. Like
that's funny that you say that,
and everything like that.
That's funny you say that about LG and Samsung, because my last two computer monitors were LG and Samsung, and I'm actually using two Samsung monitors right now. The S24D300, it's pretty good. I've had these things for a good almost 5 years, and they're still working. So I mean, Samsung make great monitors and all that. So I mean, it's interesting that they're trying to just move away from it just a little bit. I mean, it's not like they're not making SSDs and stuff still. I mean, one of my M.2s I got right now is a Samsung Evo 970 or whatever. So
Then of course you have the TV wars between 8K and
I don't see the point of that, really. It's just I understand it's to build hype for the new format. Well, I wouldn't say it's a new format. 8K's been out for a good 5 years, just about. Or more than that, actually.
Well, the thing is that they teased 8K before 4K was even a thing.
Yeah.
And so I still kind of have sour grapes from that. I think that was like 2012 they showed off 8K.
Let me just load up
2 years later, they're showing off 4K. I'm like, really, guys? You're doing this to me now?
So apparently they were thinking about...
I'm actually excited about it.
They were thinking about... The format was standardized by SMPTE in October 2007, so this shit's been around for a while.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of in research and development at that time, and then 2014, they started really messing around with it. So yeah,
I mean, YouTube supports it. There's a decent amount of 8K content on YouTube
yeah.
out
There's a
there.
couple of
I know.
there's even oh I don't think there's any streamers. I've only seen 4K streams. I can barely
Linus Tech Tips. Linus Tech Tips does some 4K
8K.
videos.
Yeah, he did like an 8K fireplace
8K,
video
8K,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
I can't remember, but yeah.
Marquez Brown, I think, was experimenting because they have the red cameras, so that shoots natively in 8K.
Oh yeah,
so like, might as well use it.
Yeah, those red Epic W and the helium ones and the red weapon dragon.
The weapon, yeah, the weapons.
Yeah,
that most of them
I think
use.
that's the camera that what's his name, Michael Bay uses. Pretty cool. Probably why his movies.
It's still
gonna
be difficult. It's gonna be difficult for them to use drone shots though in action movies and so forth. So having a full end-to-end 8K action movie is gonna be difficult.
I mean, it's cool.
The hardware's so big. I could see it becoming standardized the second they release an 8K, like something like a GoPro.
I mean, yeah,
this year,
you got the budget, go for it.
You're gonna see it on the phones. You're definitely gonna see the phone stuff going 8K.
I'm seeing people shoot music videos with Google Pixels, so you know.
Oh yeah, I really like it. They're not as expensive as you'd think. Like,
well, if you're not a broke boy, then yeah, they're not expensive.
Well, no, I'm not. But I'm saying, think about when the first 4K TVs started coming out. They were like 10K, 15K,
and like
already these things are barely out. It's 2,500.
Now you can get
like a quarter of the price.
Now you can get 28-inch 4K TV monitors even for like under like $400. So
2022, they're going to go down in price quite a bit. My question is this though: is
let me check that.
The video game industry prepared for it, or do we even have the streaming bandwidth for it?
I don't know, man.
The Olympics is supposed to be.
Oh look, here's a Samsung U28e 5900, 27-inch, and there's a 28-inch version, which is the UE 5990 or whatever. This is only going for 349 Australian dollars. So that's like
really 8K.
No, 4K.
Or 4K.
Yeah.
4K. Yeah. So 4 times the resolution.
Yeah, 4K.
It's a fair price.
4K is slowly becoming something that I want to get into because these prices are just plummeting right now. It's ridiculous. This is
the question is, how many people are just going to skip 4K and go straight to 8K?
I don't know. I kind of feel like I don't have the resources for 8K because I've only just got so much space on my M.2. I've only got so much space on my hard drives and all that, you know. And 8K video is very large. Like, for about 5 minutes of it, it's like several gigabytes. Unless you use a really good codec. Like, I think you can compress it down a fair bit, but...
You know what companies are going to be pushing 8K? Seagate and Western Digital.
Yeah,
they're gonna love you to record in 8K. They're
gonna actually, maybe the Nividia codecs that'll be rolling out will probably be able to handle it a little bit better. Like just the new GPUs that'll be coming out.
Yeah,
like I think the 2080 Ti should be able to handle it. I think it's probably one of the only few cards that can do 8K pretty stably.
But I think it would have to be like a side scroller. That's a lot of processing power, man. And Nvidia seems to hate SLI, so
actually, I guess if you got a fast enough CPU, if you got like a lot of horsepower, you can probably put a lot of the load on that as well, so that you're not making your GPU sweat. I suppose if you're playing a game like Skylines.
CPUs,
yeah.
Speaking of CPUs. AMD and Intel. What do you think of those press conferences?
AMD's definitely on top when it comes to content creation. I mean, those 16-core fucking Ryzen CPUs are getting so affordable now, and having that much power to be able to render videos and render like 3D images and CGI for movies is just a lot more appealing right now. I mean, it's been no secret that Intel have been gaming CPUs for the longest time. I mean, yeah, you got the Xeons and all that for the server stuff and all that, and the movie production or whatever. But I kind of feel like AMD are gearing a lot more towards content creation and applications that require a lot of processing and a lot of threading, a lot of threads, rendering threads. So it's mainly for CGI guys, video editors. I mean, although I've got a
It's a
9700K
fair price
myself.
though. $4,000, or what is that? That's 64?
Oh, you mean the really high end stuff? Yeah, I probably wouldn't touch that. I don't think
I
average
mean, yeah,
consumer
no,
could
you
touch
probably
it.
wouldn't, but like, if
High
you're
Hollywood studios
like,
would jump all over that. Yeah.
even on the civilian side, if you're like somebody who's like, you know, like if you're PewDiePie,
if you're
why
making
not?
money doing what you do, it's worth it. I mean,
$4,000, you're saving so much time.
I mean, I do make an income editing and rendering and stuff, but my 9700K, honestly, I mean, I've got it sitting at like on air at 5.125 gigahertz. I mean, it's just more than fast enough to be able to process. And the 2060 and the 2060 Super I have as well is amazing for 1080p stuff. In my opinion, it's probably one of the. I mean, some people say the 2070, 2060 is overkill for 1080p. I mean, I disagree. I mean, some aspects, yeah, it is. But like, it's nice to have that headroom because these new games that are coming out are going to be utilizing a lot more load, even in 1080p. So it doesn't hurt to future-proof yourself from that. And when people come up to me and say, "Oh, why don't you just get a 1660, which is basically a 980 Ti?" I tell them, "No, how about you go fuck yourself? Spend the extra money and stop being a tight ass, you know?"
Oh yeah, just at that point, you go all in.
Yeah, I mean, if your budget is over $1,000, go all in. I mean, don't settle for less.
I wasn't impressed with AMD's graphics cards, I'll be honest.
I mean, even if you're a 1080p gamer now, you might want to upgrade in the future. Just future-proof yourself. And 4K might become a lot more of a thing and more easily processed by graphics cards. So it'll be like, why would you not upgrade at that point? In about, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years.
Did AMD have a single 4K card out there? Because it really did.
The Founders Edition of the 2080. What was it? Let me just Google this so I don't make an ass of myself.
No, not the Nvidia cards. The
Intel.
I'm talking about the AMD cards.
Oh, the AMD cards. Which one? The 5700 XT? Oh no, that's the mid-range. I think, yeah.
The ones that they just showed off at AMD.
Oh yeah, was that the Vega? Was that Vega?
I don't think they showed off Vega.
They're pretty tiny.
They really didn't show. I think that is by design though.
Oh, I think they're made for Apple, so they're really small form factor. Yeah, so
yeah. But I think AMD is kind of waiting off. They want to release those next gen consoles with like high end ray tracing and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then like 6 months later, they'll be like, "Hey, see what the PS5 and Xbox Series X has? You can get that in your PC now for like half the price."
Speaking of small form factor, I'm really loving these new NUC ITX case looking things that they were showcasing. What was it? The Intel had like they had a thing called Ghost.
The really small form factor stuff. Yeah, like the clamshell design and everything.
Intel had Ghost Canyon, but they renamed it to something else recently, and they called it the it's Intel NUC 9. Ghost Canyon modular computing system. You could cram a 2060 in there pretty easily, and I think that's interesting. Having such a small box and having that much processing power, I mean, come on. I mean, why would you not get that? If this stuff gets more affordable, I mean, because I know it's probably not going to be the cheapest thing in the universe, but like, I mean,
do you think AMD is waiting for E3 to show off some of their gaming cards, or because their CPUs they look beautiful at CES 2020, but I'm not sure if they're waiting for E3 to show off some of the gaming content and so forth. Because what's her name, Lisa Su, is it? Like, she seemed she was definitely focusing more on the AMD CPU side and saying, yeah, guess what?
Oh, well, Asus actually announced that there was a new RTX 2070 card that could fit into that Intel box, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, actually, speaking of NVIDIA, they really didn't have that much of a showing this year, huh?
NVIDIA are kind of resting on their laurels right now. I mean, honestly, I'm pretty happy with
They had nothing to show.
I mean, I'm pretty happy with the RTX line. I'm quite happy to just stick with what I got with the 2060 Super Gaming OC. It's very good for streaming. I've had zero to almost little to no issues with it. I think there was one time when I was trying to do the Metal Gear stream where it was just too much load for it. But I mean, hey, I was probably fucking something up there. I should have just disabled the extra processing. But you know me, I like everything to look crystal clear. Crystal Courier. Can't even talk anymore. But yeah, CoolerMaster have been coming out with some great stuff as well. They released the what was it? Fuck. Let me just go through my Discord. Yeah, fucking, I'm using my Discord as a reference now. Screw you. There we go. CoolerMaster Hyper 212 Evo version 2. Man, that thing, I tell you what. Oh, I need that. I need to get not the D15 or a U12A, D12A, whatever it's called. Best fucking CPU fans, man. I'd be able to push
I definitely see them waiting out to release 8K video cards.
Yeah.
Both. I mean, that's probably why, because right now we're in this weird kind of era right now where 4K is becoming mainstream and 8K is becoming next gen. 60 FPS, like a 60 FPS card is not even seen as a good graphics card anymore. Like, if you could do 60, everybody wants the 120. And speaking of displays, did you see? Was it Asus partnered with Nvidia to get that 360 FPS monitor?
Yeah, they came out with Asus came out with like 3 of them, I believe. Let me just do a quick just little thing here. Okay, so it was kind
in the esports scene, they're definitely gonna want that. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, definitely. It makes a lot of sense.
I wouldn't be surprised if like next year the resolution goes up a bit.
So how many frames per
4K,
second?
360 hertz. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
360 hertz. That's how many times more than 60p? Let me just go 360 divided by 60. That's 6 times more smoother. So yeah, that's
Here's the question I have as far as displays.
Here's the thing I wanted to ask you. What do you think the frame rate of human eyes is? I'd say it's like 120 or something like that, or maybe even more.
Perceived resolution, because they're eventually going to max out. Like,
yeah.
And the same thing with resolution. Like, there's no reason to have a 16K display on a phone because you're never going to be that close to your phone to see that many pixels.
Okay, here we go. The human eye can physiologically detect up to 1,000 frames per second. Cool.
So let's say you get 1,000 frames per second display.
Yeah. And then it would just be like real life.
You have a resolution that's 32K. What are these manufacturers going to be able to sell? Like that's what I'm kind of curious about, because you can't increase the resolution anymore because there'd be no point. There's no difference between 32 and 64K. And there would be no difference between 1,000 and 1,500 FPS at that point. Unless you're jumping in leaps and bounds, but still, even at that point, you beat biology at that. So
yeah,
it's gonna get really difficult for displays. I could see that peaking out and maxing out relatively soon, probably within the next 15 years, honestly. At least resolution. I mean, already like 4K to 8K, it's like, yeah, it's a jump, but it's not like drastic. 1080p to 4K was like, oh my god, and then you had 480p, 1080p. That was like unreal. The gap is definitely declining quite a bit. But I mean, for people who do video editing and a lot of vloggers and so forth, they love 4K and 8K cameras just because they can crop things out in the background and it doesn't look like garbage.
Yeah,
like they can like zoom in.
Yeah, if they're just rendering in 1080p, then they can just crop the fuck out of it.
Oh yeah, especially for your TikTok memes and so forth. Oh, the Gen Z definitely loves that. That's all they do now. It's just crop this, crop that. So that may be really where the use case for 8K becomes, is more just cropping than actual display. Because listen, if somebody sends you like a small video clip, are you going to be like, oh look, you sent me a 4K video clip instead of an 8K video clip? And if you're like looking on Snapchat or something, nobody's going to go crazy on it. I mean, that's what's going to be a hard thing, is displays are awesome, and we're kind of born in the right time to just see them get better and better. But it's kind of like this. When color TVs first came out, they started showing different, like the amount of color that a TV can have, and now nobody advertises color.
Yeah.
Like there used to be a big push for that, and then with RGB and everything, and now it's just like, yeah, we can kind of pretty much make every color, but then they do like HDR and make things crisper and so forth. But
yeah,
color's not the biggest selling point as far as TVs now. It's more resolution.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, so it says here that the human eye can physiologically detect up to 1,000 frames a second, but the average human tasked with detecting what frame rate he or she is looking at can accurately guess up to around 150. So my guess is that you probably wouldn't need a monitor that has more than 150 frames. I don't know.
It depends on the visual acuity of the person.
Yeah, exactly.
In all honesty.
I mean, an average person like me probably
wouldn't
be able to see 1,000 frames.
People...
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because neurons, nerves can fire off at varying intervals in your brain or whatever. So,
What was it? I read something that the human eye was like... Can you take a look at you look that up for me? If what's the max resolution of the human eye?
I always thought it was like. Let's just check it out. It's funny how the human is still a more powerful computer than actual computers.
We're not transhumanist yet.
No, we will be soon. We're creeping
CES
up there.
makes you think so.
Okay, so the resolution of the human eye is 576 megapixels, and we've already got cameras that can do up to like 200 at this point, which is interesting. So we're getting there.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't there like recently a 100 megapixel cell phone camera that I think Sony was showing off.
Let me just look it up.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
People were like, yeah. So once you get past that 500 megapixel range there.
Hasselblad released a 200 megapixel camera last year, but it cost like $45,000. Jesus Christ! And there's a new 400 megapixel.
All this stuff goes down in price, though, man. All this stuff goes down in price.
Oh my god!
You can find a 720p TV for $50 now at Best Buy.
Okay, there's a 400 megapixel multi-shot camera that captures 2.4 gigabyte stills. Jesus Christ! Oof. I mean, that would be handy for I don't know, for people that just love overkill.
Well, what once was overkill, becomes standard resolution.
I mean, when you crop something as large as that, you could crop so much that you could see individual like molecules almost.
No, not molecules, but you'll definitely see hair follicles.
Yeah, exactly.
If you take a picture of somebody's face, you're gonna be able to see like if somebody has a beard, you're gonna be able to see every individual hair and so forth.
It's just gonna be this huge hair follicle taking up the whole screen. It's gonna be like, ooh.
That's when it's going to get interesting with the video game industry, because think about that. Because you're going to have photorealistic textures and games and so forth.
Here's the thing that's interesting. The human eye is unable to do stuff like that. It's just the cameras that...
Oh, yeah. So you notice all that crazy zoom.
So cameras kind of already transcend human capacities when you think about it in some aspects. Not so much resolution, but like,
I'm very curious to see, though, like resolution and stuff for that. I mean, if you play Death Stranding, that game looks beautiful. There's some times where I have to blink and realize, I'm like, this is not a wallpaper. This is a CGI. This is computer generated mountains, and they look like real mountains. Like, especially in the distance, you're like, oh my! Like it looks like a painting at times. It right now. There's gonna be very interesting crossroads because. I know you're kind of like fine with 4K. I want to push it. I just want to get to the end, just get to the finish line. 8K, 16K, so forth. Get it done with.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why I hated like 720p for a while. I'm just like, just go to 1080p. We're done. Like, get over with. Now we're getting to this next push for 8K. The Olympics is going to be in 8K. We're finally having processors. 8K
when are they using to shoot that? They're going to use Red Epics, I guess. Probably.
Yeah, they're probably gonna be doing that.
How do you do live broadcast with a cinema camera? Do you just jack in HDMI or whatever, like a capture card? I think you can do that.
They're streaming it apparently.
Yeah, they can stream it with OBS or whatever.
I mean, granted, Japan's infrastructure is insane.
Yeah, they'll be able to do it pretty easily.
They'll be able to handle the bandwidth, but I'm not sure about your country. Sorry, you guys over there in Australia.
No need to be sorry. It's absolutely awful.
Yeah, America has it like have and have not. So you'll have like you can go to places that barely get up to 25 megabits per second. And then you go like 200 miles north and you'll find connection speeds up to a gigabit. And it's random. Like Kansas City has Google Fiber, so you got gigabit connections there. But then you'll have like Florida. Like Florida is notoriously known for terrible internet connections, and NASA's is pretty much headquartered out there. And I find that really funny. And then New York, we have pretty fast internet over here. California is well known for that stuff. But then
New York has a pretty insane infrastructure. Like you guys have all the big fucking tech companies.
It's all stock trading though.
That's pretty much.
They want to get those transfers and everything, just all the data through. But that's why I'm excited for Elon Musk's Starlink plan, because that's probably how you'll be able to get that real time data transfer
and get
forth.
And get that near automata style like 500G internet, with the satellites, and just have
just go outside. Think about this. You can be on a mountain in like Fiji or something like that, and it's like, oh yeah, don't worry about this, being Mount Fuji and all this. Yeah, Fiji and Fuji are different things, I know. But
yeah, being able to have global Wi-Fi that's several terabits sounds like a great idea.
I mean, I'm sorry for the astronomy community and stuff like that. Looking at stars is cool and all, but man, when push comes to shove, most people are going to want their 25 terabit per second internet connection in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, I need to live stream my 16K Let's Play of Sonic 3 and Knuckles
on a yacht.
Yeah, with my Microsoft tablet or whatever. I don't fucking know.
But this is also going to help the third world quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
And, they're going to also have high resolution, high bandwidth, and so forth.
I mean, I really feel sorry for these countries that are just treated... There's some places on Earth where the max bandwidth speeds is not even 1 megabit. Like, you're sitting on dial-up speeds,
Yeah, but, satellite internet, Starlink, that's going to change that, It's like...
Yeah.
And especially if you're in a country that's tyrannical, you can actually learn stuff just by going outside and somehow having a cell phone. You'll be able to figure out, you're like, oh, wow.
Say if you live in a place like China or North Korea, you could actually,
Iran, like right now, you have a ton of Iran protests going on.
And a lot of censorship. Yeah, Iran shut off their internet, didn't they? Which is bad. You don't want to be doing that.
That's a shame, because you can do that now, but like, when you do have satellite infrastructure like that, good luck. You're just going to have to literally physically rip phones out of people's hands.
Now, this kind of does go against your whole philosophy that you were talking about earlier, how you were like, you were all on board with the whole technocracy thing, how like government controls, all that stuff. But with the star stuff, I mean, it's anyone's ball game.
Starlink?
Yeah.
See, I it's just another option, though, if you know what I'm saying. So, and again, it's not really government, because technically SpaceX is funding it.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazon has their own thing, so that's free market competition. If I don't like Starlink, I can go to Amazon.
Yeah, you need to have competition. That's how you make profit.
Yeah.
You gotta encourage people
doing that by private. Eventually, though, you're gonna see monopolies come out of it.
I mean, it's gonna happen eventually. But I mean, it would be good.
Look at Google. I mean, Google's a monopoly at this point. Nobody uses Bing.
I mean, Telstra right now over here in Australia is basically a massive monopoly. Like, they're charging people hundreds of dollars for pretty mediocre internet. It's kind of ridiculous. But whatever.
Then anyway, back to kind of CES stuff. Got a tangent there, guys.
Oh, well, I mean, we're kind of talking about technology, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. It all relates to the whole thing.
Let's check out AMD now. AMD did some interesting things. Well, that's the understatement of the century. I mean, oh boy. That whole thing with the Intel Xeons getting absolutely destroyed. That was fun.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're government subsidized, and
look, I don't really
care anymore.
I have nothing but the utmost respect for Intel. I mean, I've been using their CPUs for a long time, and they've served me well, you know. But I just don't feel like they have any fucking business being in the competitive market right now, the state that they're in.
It just doesn't feel deserved because, again, it's probably the same over there, but in the U.S., it's just any public school you go to, and even a ton of churches, it's a bunch of Dell computers running with Intel chipsets.
Yeah.
And it's just because they're able to just like print it, but they're not trying to make a good product because they just know that they can guarantee it. I think AMD, their objective now is to really kind of take some of that market share and say like, hey, we're as reliable and we're as good as as Intel, and we can provide you a cheaper, more efficient product.
I'll tell you what, man,
that may happen.
That new Threadripper, the 3rd gen, I think it was.
Yeah,
it's already
the AMD Epic, yeah.
What's this? The 3rd gen AMD Ryzen mobile power. What is it? 3rd gen is already like more than twice as powerful. It's crazy.
Yeah. Then you got Zen 3 coming out.
Yeah.
Eventually, that's gonna be crazy.
AMD FreeSync looks pretty cool.
AMD does make their money. I mean, think about this: they have a monopoly on when a PlayStation 5 and the next Xbox, Xbox Series X gets sold. Those are both AMD chipsets.
The AMD Radeon 5600 series looks very interesting. It's the old, yeah, I agree. It's the ultimate 1080p gaming. I mean, like I said before, people be like, derp, overkill, but come on. I mean, when you're able to buy affordable GPUs like that have an insane amount of power, why would you not buy them? You know what I mean?
Again, though, I'm still like I kind of was touching on before. I did feel like this press conference with AMD was, we have stuff for competitive, but on the GPU side, it was just, towing the line, more or less. Well, actually, I didn't really see anything. There was nothing that was going to compete against the 2080. Let's be real there, GPU wise.
Actually, the 5600 series, I don't know how it compares to the 5700 XT stuff, but I think it might be a step down. I don't know. I haven't really researched it, but I mean, still, 1080p gaming is so easy to get into now, and like I don't know, having that extra power, the DDR6 RAM and all that bandwidth.
I mean, good 1080p gaming, but I mean, how long is that gonna last? It's like if you buy a 1080p card, you use that for what, 2 years? Like, ooh. I really don't see the point.
Okay, so here's an article here that says that the RX 5600 XT is a huge upgrade for 1080p gamers, which is wow. Okay, I believe that. I think it might it might be a step up from this 5700. Why did they go back a number? I don't know, but either way, these cards. They can't
figure out a naming scheme for the life of them.
I am a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of the Radeon RX stuff. Like, they're probably some of my favorite AMD cards right now. But they're good mid-tier cards, pretty much.
Oh yeah, that's fine, budget-wise. I think they are going soft. I think because
it says here that the RX 5700 XT is on par with a 2070 Super. So, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, it's great for 1080p gamers, but I mean, I want you to think about this. Like, the PS4 Pro has been out how long now? It's been, 3.5 years? And that thing has been doing 4K gaming, like, this whole time. And to be going crazy advertising a 1080p card...
Let me just...
at your biggest conference. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can have those cards included, but I really think they should have been showing off some of the 4K cards.
Let me look this up here.
But I'm gonna kind of cut them a break on this because they're probably just waiting for the PS5 and Xbox Series X to come out, show off all that crazy new graphics and so forth, and the whole industry is gonna get jumped from that. Like, let's be real here. That's gonna raise the standard of what video games look like. Physics, graphics, visuals, all of it.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So the 5600 XT is basically directly competing with the 1660 Ti, which is basically a 980 Ti. It promises 120 FPS gaming for US $279. So fuck. There we go. That's all you need. You don't need the fucking.
Yeah, it's a great budget option. Yeah, I know. It's a great, like, they gave good budget options. I'm not against that. I was at least hoping for something for the 4K gamers and so forth.
Yeah.
And they didn't do anything ray tracing.
I did a test. I did a test stream. It was unlisted, so you probably won't be able to find it on my channel. I did a 4K stream with my 2060 Super, and I overclocked that as much as high as I could before the temperatures started to throttle the fuck out of it. And I actually managed to stream at 30p pretty smoothly playing Tomb Raider. So it is possible. I mean, my frame rate dropped to like 20 at some points here and there where there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's definitely doable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to do 4K gaming and you don't mind, and you don't really want to spend like an insane amount of money, then I would definitely recommend these mid-range cards. I mean, you know, what do you got to lose? I mean, you're gonna have nice clear footage. You'll have a slow frame rate, yeah, but you'll be streaming 4K, you know, and that's a big deal, especially now.
I disagree. I'd say wait a year. Honestly, wait a year. Just build the PC like in that 2021. You know, as Black Friday of 2021 is going to be a great time to buy PC components.
I would respect it. You know, that's just the way that's just how I stand on it. I mean, I don't really see 4K streaming being completely standardized yet, like 1080p is now. That's why I'm kind of like, well, if you really want a PC now,
but I'm saying like this: the PS4 Pro is a 4K video game system that you can play on right now.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, but like with the mid-range,
I mean, I'm not
stuff,
saying it's gonna be standard, but I'm saying for next gen,
for the 1080p stuff, you know. So 4K, it's kind of like an afterthought for a guy like me that doesn't really care about it now. I mean, I'd like to get into it. That's why if I'll keep this setup, I'll keep the 2060 Super until like what you were saying before, when the next couple of years come around, where like out of nowhere we'll probably get some massive groundbreaking improvements. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of just wanted something to just use now and just be able to stream. But like,
oh yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I do get what you were saying though. It is, if you really want to get into 4K, it's best to wait before you get a card that's strong enough to handle 4K 60 with no
I'm just saying
issues.
this is a really bad time to future-proof right now, because you know they're holding back because they're waiting for the next-gen consoles, and finally we have an 8K TVs out here, and they're gonna stop really selling like the 1080p stuff real soon. They're just gonna be like, yeah, just buy this 4K TV.
I mean, with the 2060 that I bought, I actually got it relatively cheap. Like, it wasn't really that expensive. So it's like, you know, I mean, a guy like me that doesn't like to spend over like $1,000 for like an individual piece of gear, it's basically up my alley. And even the 2070 Super is under $1,000 Australian dollars for me. So it's like, you know, but I get what you're saying. The thing that a lot of people seem to tell me, I don't know, a lot of people are telling me like if your budget is higher, then your target will be 1440p gaming, and I mean, yeah, you know, the 2070 is made for that, but I mean, like, you know, if I was gonna upgrade to the 2070 from my 2060 Super Gaming OC, I would probably just stick to 1080p and just have the extra headroom so I can just like do more shit, you know. And it's just,
that's a better way to do
it. That's basically just what I was, just where I'm at right now.
Run the GPU, cool, why not?
But I mean, like you said, I don't think you are future proofing yourself, but you know, it's kind of just, a guy like me that doesn't really have thousands of dollars to throw around, it makes a lot of sense. But like with the AMD stuff that's coming out right now, where it's like you're getting these insane core counts for not a lot of money.
I'm just concerned that you're gonna actually kind of have killer apps.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, but like back in the day, can this computer run Crysis?
Yeah, pretty
Can
much.
this computer run Minecraft? Can this
it run
computer
Fortnite? Yeah, CSGO,
run Fortnite? Yeah, now it's Fortnite. So
well, I mean, CSGO and
next
Fortnite have
gen,
pretty
you're gonna
insane
have
benchmarks.
one of those
Like you
games.
can push that shit to thousands of frames a second. So,
oh yeah,
you know.
But I'm just curious about that. Is probably by 2021 you're gonna have that game that everybody wants. You know, somewhere midway through where people are like, you know, it's gonna be something that's gonna be on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. And if you started a build in late 2019 and early 2020, you might be left in the dust.
But here's the thing, though. When people are suggesting, like, gamers and streamers to get, like, the AMD Ryzen stuff or whatever, it's like, I mean, they're not bad CPUs, but they're not, like, specifically designed for gaming, you know? They're more for content creation. And that's why it always irks me.
No, I'm not talking about the CPUs. I was talking about the GPUs.
Oh, yeah, my bad. No, I'm not fucking paying attention.
No.
As usual.
I'm just saying on the GPU kind of thing, I'd be concerned if you're only going to get 1 or 2 years out of it. I mean, again, the prices are so cheap that,
I guess it doesn't hurt to have all those cores. I mean, it's pretty fun flex to have. Be like, check me out.
How much was the sell price for the car you were saying before? Not the one that you bought, the one that the AMD card.
Oh, the 5600 XT.
Yeah, 57.
It's under $300, so it's pretty good.
$300, $150 a year. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean,
the thing is though, that it can only
if you're going from nothing and you really want to start a PC build now, sure, get it. But again, I'm still saying, wait, I wasn't really that impressed with the PC tech this year. There's a lot of hints. There's a lot of wink, wink, like nudge, nudge. This is coming. But as far as that tech goes, I was I think I was blown away with ray tracing about a year ago in the Nvidia press conference and so forth.
Yeah,
last year. But anyway, that's CPUs and GPUs. Want to go into Sony press conference?
Yeah, let's head straight into meme territory right now. Sony released an automobile vehicle. I don't know I can't even talk. An automotive
car.
A car. Yeah, there we go. Fuck you, Matt. Say it right.
CAR.
Yeah,
you can drive it.
Sony literally released a car. Like, are you fucking kidding me at this point? I mean, I got no issues with it, but the thing that irks me is I want to be able to slap a PlayStation logo on there. Come on. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because think about this. You have a ton of Sony fanboys out there. Over 100 million PS4s were sold. Dude, if they put if they put a 90s aesthetic onto that thing and made it look like if they came out with a PlayStation 1 color interior, I think I would have to buy that car. Like, think about that. If in the back of the headrest they had a PlayStation logo and just made that the PlayStation mobile, I think that would sell. That would be a really cool item to have.
Yeah.
Just a PlayStation skin for the Sony car. Like, and again, I don't think they're becoming an automotive manufacturer. I think it was just a concept.
Just get this fucking ASMR commercial being like, fast, smooth, it's a Sony. Starting at $49.
I mean, Sony would really be putting their hand in everything there.
Yeah.
And again, Sony's pretty good in most markets. They make decent TVs, decent stereos, amazing video games.
It would be funny if Microsoft came out with a car and then just looked like a ripoff of the Cybertruck.
Speaking of other cars, did you take a look at that ugly-looking Mercedes car? Oh my god.
Yeah, Mercedes are definitely not what they used to be when it comes to design aesthetics.
They're like,
Ish.
hey, and you just looked, and you're like, this is a movie prop from Avatar. Like they basically said it, and you're looking, and you're like, yeah, this is not real. This is never coming out. Like,
Oh my god.
it was just really funny and awkward to look at it, and you're like, I don't know, guys.
What was the car called? The something the AM2.
Avatar something? I think AV.
It was just called
What's it
the
called?
Avatar. I don't know.
Oh
It's
my
an
god.
electric car.
Here's
so...
my glow. It's so obnoxious, and
Yeah, it kind of looks
I
like.
don't even think it had doors. Did it even have doors?
It's a concept car. It looks like a concept car.
Yeah, it's a concept car. But
It
Sony's
looks like
concept
basically
car
all
looks
those
so much
cars that I
better.
used to see floating around the internet in the early 2000s and like fan pictures that people would make.
This is the car of 2020, and yeah, well, it's 2020 now. Where's the car of 2020?
Out around then. Yeah, I get what you're saying. They basically turned that silver. The Sony Vision S though kind of looks just like a regular, just a regular car. Like it doesn't look,
The Avatar car from Mercedes, though. I mean, like, I'd rather buy a Cybertruck over that thing. My God, that thing looked ugly, man. Like, I really. Oh, and I love the little. Of course, they had to put glowing lights. It's all RGB, everything. But like, they put your hand in the middle apparently,
yeah,
and it's supposed to match your pulse with the car, and I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? Why does my car need to know my pulse?
Needs to know
if it gives me CPR, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes you get weird stuff at CES, and that's one of those items where I'm just like,
yeah,
this is
that
dumb.
New Mercedes just looks very odd.
So did you take a look at some of the crazy phones they had? The Mclaren phone?
The Mclaren phone, really?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Look that up. It actually looked pretty cool. I liked it, honestly.
The OnePlus 7T Pro McLaren edition.
Yeah. Yep. Look at it.
I mean, it looks pretty cool. I mean, I can imagine it's probably not cheap because it's fucking McLaren.
It's transparent glass. You could turn like. That's how they hide the cameras. They just. There's a setting on the phone.
Let me look at this.
It makes the glass darker.
Okay, so I do like the way it looks. It's got interesting bevels on the edges of it. It kind of looks like it's like a mixture of an Android phone and. Well, actually, it's definitely inspired more from the Samsung
McLaren. It's a mixture of phone and the McLaren.
Yeah, like you can if you put it up against the other phones, it kind of blends in as it's got like this interesting thing printed on the back of it. Kind of looks like a.
Look up pictures of the interior of a McLaren right now.
The back side of the phone has this interesting pattern, like you know how you see a psychologist and he shows you these patterns and stuff, and it's like, can you tell me what this is or whatever? Yeah. So yeah, that McLaren phone, man, I'll tell you what, it's a thing. I don't know if I'd ever buy one, but hey.
No, I wouldn't. But I like I do like the technology of the glass, though.
Yeah, I just love this shit, man. Even though it's like way too expensive for me, I'm just fascinated by this type of shit. Like just seeing what crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, it's gimmick. It's definitely gimmicky. You know.
I mean, if you got the money, then have at it. Go for it. Well, who am I to say that you're?
Oh, I think that's probably gonna be a real product though. The McLaren, like, there's very few times, like half the products at CES.
I mean, McLaren were known for making exotic racing cars, right? Supercars.
Yeah, well, that's why it looks like it. The exterior of the phone is supposed to look like the interior of a McLaren.
If this phone is aimed at like the really high end market, I do think there might be appeal. I mean, if you're into cars and you're like, splurging money, give it a go.
And I think it's kind of like the thing, like, you wouldn't really buy it, but like if you're just really a fan of that, like Tesla did that, where it's like they had the car and they had the little electric car for your kid.
Yeah.
They had a similar kind of concept with that. I mean, if you want your phone to match your car and you're that level of first world problems, man, go for it.
Let me just load up this price tag here. Just give me a second here to get my
Oof,
um.
that's gonna hurt.
I don't know if it would hurt that much, to be completely honest with you, but let's just give me a second here.
It's definitely gonna be more than an iPhone 10. Let's be real here.
I mean, the iPhone 10's kind of pushing it for me. All right, here we go. So the OnePlus 6T McLaren edition, 256 gigabytes plus 10 gigabytes of memory, or whatever that is. Okay, this is interesting. It's only $1,700. I was not expecting that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's only like $2,000 for me, or whatever.
Yeah, it's not. Again,
It's
still
only
like,
$1,000
boy.
more expensive than an iPhone, so I mean, it's not that much. It's more expensive. I mean, plus you get the 10 gigabyte of memory or whatever that is, which is interesting.
That's the thing though with phones that are so expensive like that. It's like the
Memory
second you
factory.
buy the thing's out of date.
It's got what type of storage is that? Is that a M.2 stick, or is it just a? Oh, it's an internal memory. My memory.
Yeah.
It's got a 20 megapixel dual main camera and a 16 megapixel front camera, which is pretty good. That's already on par with a lot of the older DSLRs out there. So I mean,
Oh yeah, that's like all the cameras now.
it can
honestly.
shoot. It can actually shoot 1080p video. Is that the ratio? I don't know.
That's pretty standard though. Most cameras.
What does that say? It says,
video.
oh no, that's the display. It's a 1080p display. That's interesting. Seeing it's only a phone, must be a very detailed phone.
I think the Pixel 2 is 1080p. Honestly, if I'm wrong.
Oh, actually, I think there's some that are like 2000. I don't know how that works, or whatever. It's got a lithium polymer battery. It's only 191 grams. That's fucking light, dude. Like shit. It wouldn't be that heavy to carry around.
Any other phones I could? Honestly, that's the only one that really.
Well, actually, 191 grams. How much is that? I don't think it would be that light. But yeah, that's definitely okay. It runs Android. That explains. Yeah, it's definitely based off the Galaxy stuff. So that's cool though. McLaren's trying something different.
I think there are a few Fossil watches there.
Fossil watches. What's that going on there? Fossil watches.
That's like those are like the Google Wear watches and so forth. Yeah, there are a few of the smartwatches and so forth. I think that fad's dying, in all honesty. The smartwatch, like 2 years ago in 2018, like everybody was wearing them, and now I'm like, I really rarely see them.
Everyone was wearing the G-Shocks for a while, and they kind of just vanished.
Yeah.
And the Rolexes, people still wear Rolexes, but mainly just to flex because they're pretty expensive because they're handmade. A lot of them.
What's funny? The funny thing with Android watches is they're for people who want to look socially acceptable reading text messages. So if you're adjusting your watch, you're actually reading a text on it. So I always find that kind of like really funny. It's like it's just the same thing. It just looks more socially acceptable.
Oh yeah, it says here that Rolex watches, each Rolex is handmade. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Okay.
Oh yeah, Rolex.
Yeah, it's probably
Rolex
why.
are handmade.
Yeah, that's cool though. I mean, I don't see the point of smart watches. I mean, who uses watches anymore? In all honesty, come on. Like, you just pick up your phone and be like, oh, okay, it's time to do this and that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It has, for example, if you're at a restaurant, you don't want to really pick your cell phone out.
But I mean, you don't want to be playing around with this fucking smart watch, pressing buttons or whatever. I don't know.
Honestly, look at the Fossil smartwatches, man. Like because the main display, they make it look like an actual watch. Like you can't tell a lot of them.
Well, yeah, I guess if you want to tell time in a discreet way, then sure, buy one of them. But I mean,
A lot of people do it for the fitness tracking, though.
Yeah.
Again, I have is it the Tick E-Watch I have? Yeah, I stopped using them, but like, yeah, I'd use it for like mountain bike and stuff and so forth, heart rate and everything.
I mean, if I want to check the time, I'll just look up
Some
on the
people are
wall.
addicted to it for like, a lot of people are addicted to it for just like the sleep apnea aspect and so forth.
Yeah.
It's mostly a health product, if anything. But,
me and my mum, we stopped using watches altogether as soon as we got our laptops, tablets, and shit. So it's like,
so yeah, same way the time they're just gonna pull their phone out of the pocket and be like, oh yeah.
it wasn't too long ago that I was using digital watches. Like when I was in high school, I was still using a watch because I just thought it looked cool because I had like this black one and it was badass. And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, what's up?
I mean, that's what watches are, though. Like,
yeah,
honestly,
it's kind of more or less a fashion thing.
It's not a piece of tech. It's just a piece of clothing, really.
Yeah, it kind of gave me an interesting aesthetic when I'd rock up, and have my watch on. People would be like, "Sup, Matt? Sup, man?" Slap hands, and they're like, "Nice watch." I'm like, "Thanks, bro." Stuff like that. It's kind of just a fashion thing, really. You just.
I think smartwatches are kind of getting like that too.
Yeah.
It's just, again, I think it's just a funny thing is if. And again, it's like kind of like a modern society kind of thing. I'm gonna sound like a boomer for 2 seconds, but sometimes you'll be like out somewhere and you're like waiting for something.
Yeah.
And you're looking around, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna look like a creep if I don't have my phone out. You ever have like one of those situations?
Yeah, I always have to look at my
phone.
phone. Like I'll just be like, even if I'm not even doing anything.
No, I'm just looking through my newsfeed. Don't worry about me.
Then I'm just staring at.
See, I'm a normal person. I'm busy. I'm looking at my phone. See.
Yeah, because like I do kind of feel like you feel alienated when everyone else is looking at their phones and you're just sitting there staring at people menacingly.
People are like, this creep.
Look at this guy.
Creeper, man. Look, he's on the train. He's looking at everybody. He's at the bus stop. Man, I don't know who this guy is.
Well, I mean, everyone where I live knows who I am, but mostly. It's just when I take public transport, people kind of eyeball
I live in the
you.
suburbs of a big city, so.
Well, I actually live in a big city. That's why I said there's a lot of people that know who I am. Because I always walk outside on the main road and there's all these people that come out at the same time. And they're like, hey, Matt. Hey, Matt. Hey, Matt. It's like fucking something out of a Disney movie, pretty much. It's pretty funny. But,
And the bird start chirp.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I live pretty close to the CBD and the train station and all that. So, it's... And whenever I, the apartment complex I'm in, there's a lot of space, so there's still, like, places you can walk around and whatnot. I'm not, like, smack dab in the middle. Like, I'm about a mile away from the middle. So I'm just far enough for it just to be peaceful, So it's like...
Dude, there's about 12 million people, like, within my region, so it's like, the chances of me seeing the same person are pretty rare. Yeah. That's what I do like about Snapchat, though, because it does have like a little map kind of thing to kind of show where your friends are. So every so often there'll be people that like hunt me down and be like, "Hey, I saw you're at that bar." Yeah, it's like, "Oh yeah, guess what? You meet up and do stuff." I don't know. Yeah. Cell phone life is interesting. It's
interesting.
Both the most social, antisocial thing in the world.
Everyone's just fucking nowadays. When I mean, I still technically live deep in the heart of Brisbane City, but, like, I'm just kind of out there. But, like, it's... Whenever I go out and then I just walk down the road, then you go where all the skyscrapers are and everything, it's like, people are just fucking walking around these bloody 16-inch tablets and shit, and it's like, whoa. It's become such a normal thing now, just to have this huge fucking tablet in front of your face. Like,
I think it's the funniest thing when, like for like me, it's like I'll be at like a gas station filling up. Again, it's Long Island, so outskirts of New York City and so forth.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of this upper middle class, and you'll look like sometimes I'll just like see like a crossover or an SUV, and they'll have like 3 kids in the back seats, and all 3 of them are like on a tablet.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, look at the luxury you guys are in. I never had that stuff. I had to just sit in the back and shut up and hope that my Game Boy Color didn't run out of batteries.
Like, the tablet thing, it's kind of like a laptop mixed with a giant phone, basically. I mean, it could be either. Like, you can get like a Surface Pro which has Windows 10 on it, or you can get like an iPad that has iOS on it and all that. And
yeah,
so it's you can.
I'm
a big fan of the 2-in-1 stuff because then you can use it like a laptop and all that.
Yeah, and I do work in the IT industry, and basically our lives are tablets just because we're moving between servers.
Like I see people in hospital. When I went up to visit my mum at the hospital that she's still at, she's supposed to be coming home today. She was supposed to be coming home yesterday. It's been a minute, but yeah, she's been in there for like almost 2 weeks. And when I walked in there, the doctors, they'd walk in with these fucking tablets like they were taking notes with them. They had like a stylus. And they actually take notes with them.
Well, it's recorded down and it goes into a database and so forth. I mean, deep safe, but like it still helps in the healthcare field.
Yeah, I got no issue with having really decent tablets being used to help people. I mean, if you've seen the computer networks that they had in the past where it was absolute garbage, Windows XP stuff from like 2003 that they were still using.
Yeah, with artificial intelligence and everything going into the cloud and so forth.
Yeah.
And like it's really helpful.
There's some hospitals that could literally 3D print fake like legs or whatever. Like if someone had to have an amputation, they can 3D print like a bone to save the leg, for example. Or something like that, which is
they can do like fill stuff in and
exactly.
Medical field is crazy. It's a lot of the stuff that we really don't even say. And even going back into CES stuff, that there's always those hidden kind of things where you'll have a tech company like show things and it's like, why weren't you on the show floor and stuff? Like speaking of like stuff that's like helping the world and so forth. I think it was CNET. Yeah, they were doing like interviews just on the show floor.
Oh my god, they're doing the housework outside. Sorry about that, guys. I really wasn't. Let me shut the window.
I didn't hear it on my end, so. Yeah, John Deere tractor was actually over there at CES, which I thought was kind of interesting, where they were showing like a lot of the farming equipment and so forth.
Oh, really?
I mean, they were like showing, they're like, oh yeah, we're basically making self-driving tractors now, and they're using artificial intelligence to help like crop efficiency and everything. And I'm just like,
the Planty Cube.
Wow,
is that what it's called? Yeah.
It's sure a few things like
CES
that.
2020. The Planty Cube aims to make vertical farming more modular and automated. Cool. That works.
Okay, that might have been, like that's like crazy. Like even like farming technology, you never really like think about that stuff.
I definitely do because I'm trying to maintain my mum's garden right now. I have to water it every day, otherwise everything will start to go yellow.
Yeah, but I mean on the whole scale of like the food supply of the world and everything, food efficiency, everything. I mean, that's
we're growing food as well. Mum's got some tomatoes and pumpkins growing and whatnot. So chili, beans, bean sprouts.
But if you basically have it like, in the Midwest, Iowa, and Nebraska, Illinois, all that stuff, like you have a bunch of farms out there just doing stuff. Artificial intelligence can help quite a bit.
I mean, if it can make food, if it can keep food relatively affordable, I'm all for it. Because the farmers are really struggling out here in Australia because they've been dealing with a drought for like, I mean, a long time. It's ridiculous.
I mean, it's a desert. Yeah. I mean, honestly, you guys have mostly terraformed a lot of Australia to actually make it farmable, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of farms that are out west from where I live right now, like west of Brisbane, and there's some pretty decent setups. Like they're all in the mountains and everything, so
Another nation that does great stuff with that is Israel. That they do a lot of artificial intelligence and terraformation, and they're making the desert green, man. Like that's crazy technology if you think about it.
Yeah, but here's the thing though that I do kind of think is a problem. A lot of the animals that are used to that type of environment will probably will be confused, when temperature.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying on a mass scale and so
because
forth,
those dragons and whatnot, the lizards, they thrive on the heat because they're cold blooded. Without the heat, they probably die, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But hey, we could genetically engineer them.
Let's save that for Mars. Anyway, on kind of like the last thing we'll go over, and I mean, this is really the trend for the last like 5 years now is TVs.
Mm.
What would you say was the most intriguing TVs that you saw at CES 2020?
If I had to put a name on it, I would definitely say the OLED TVs that were coming out. Oh my god, they're so thin. Like if you look at the Samsung and the Sony one, and was it LG? What's that other brand? TLC?
Dude, TCL is amazing because I'm like, wait, you're making 8K TVs that are cheap.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's a Roku.
What is this?
Roku, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Roku was built into it, and I think this was very interesting too. Like they were selling stuff for like $1,200 that are 8K TVs. Granted, they're really small. I think
it's a Chinese made television, right? So.
I mean, yeah, it is Chinese, whatever.
I mean, I have a Chinese.
I
actually have a Chinese 4K like 60-inch in the lounge room, and that thing's worked pretty good. As long as you don't, damage it, then it works for a while.
I know I'm a terrible American. I'm not buying.
I mean, like sometimes you get dead pixels. Like you know how you get those pink lines that go down from the top to the bottom. That shit gets annoying. I had to replace a TV because of that.
But I mean. Though I mean, seriously, $1,200 for an 8K TV.
I can't say no to that. I really can't.
That's really good.
Considering how fucking massive those things are, they take up half a room. You could just put that thing on the wall and be like a freaking home theater.
Add a few Black Friday sales and so forth. That thing's be good.
You'll be able to throw on a 4K Blu-ray disc there and upscale it to 8K. Just enjoy that. It would be pretty fun.
A lot of different technologies though with the TVs because it's like just on the display side you had OLED, micro LED, and mini LED. Was it? And then there's mini and micro LED.
Yeah, OLED definitely makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Because
that's
like you said,
now they're trying to show it as old technology now, and I'm just like,
wait, what was the Roku? Was that an OLED? Let me look it up.
I think it was an OLED, yeah.
Let me just look it up.
I think that was an OLED. Yeah, I think that was just an OLED. I don't think they were going to put like mini and micro LED technology in there.
But yeah, man, those I'm really interested in the OLED stuff. You know.
I'm curious about just like, I mean, again, China's great at making that stuff real cheap, but like, if you're able to get that in within like the $1,500 price range, 8K TVs are gonna sell pretty quick, especially with that competition. That's gonna be very interesting. I feel though they use all these confusing terms. LG, I'm sorry, is just the way to go if you want to go quality TVs because they have all the HDR standards. LG actually is stealing some of Samsung's technology. They're just like, yeah, we'll put quantum dot in. We don't care. We'll have the true blacks. They'll doing all the interesting stuff with the colors and so forth. So I feel like a lot of the 8K TVs just have all the bells and whistles.
Oh, okay. So the Roku TV is actually mini LED. Okay, so that's. I'm guessing. Okay, so
mini and micro. Yeah, there's mini, micro, and OLED.
Oh wait, what? Oh, never mind. There's no LED version as well. Okay, I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, but if they're able to make this, if
it's made to confuse us.
if it's affordable, you know, go for it. I love it. I'll have the micro or the QLED. Was it QLED?
I don't think it comes with the AI upscaling. That's the big thing. All the other TV displays have.
Yeah.
Is TCL.
Okay, so it's a QLED. What? Quantum dot display? Holy shit.
Yeah, quantum dot. That's something Samsung had. That they developed that a couple of years back. A lot of the 4K. Almost every 4K TV
That might be the way to go.
But I'm just saying LG kind of has that quantum technology as well. So
yeah.
They kind of have everything.
But yeah, the QLED stuff, OLED stuff, mini LED stuff, that's definitely the way to go. All three of them are pretty good. So, you know.
Oh, there was one other TV that was like, really? This is Gen Z in a nutshell. It was a TV, I forget the name of it. You rotated it connected to your phone. And if you put your phone in portrait mode, the TV would turn into portrait mode. I kid you not. So basically, all you people on Instagram and Snapchat who constantly take pictures in portrait mode, we have a solution for you. Just take the picture in landscape, please.
Oh yeah, the micro LED. Does the micro LED mean that it can fit more detail into the screen? If so, then holy shit.
Yeah, it's more than mini. Yeah.
Well, fuck. I guess we'll be going micro, but it's probably more expensive, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's micro, mini, then OLED.
Yeah, I'd probably just stick to QLED.
And all of them are forms of OLED.
Yeah.
Well, they're all forms of OLED's just kind of biggest and stuff. Again, it's all made to confuse and everything. Because this is the thing that's great about TVs right now is there's so many different competing technologies. Then last year, Samsung... No. Was it LG or Samsung? I think it was Samsung.
I don't know.
They had a TV that... They had a TV display that you can stack together.
Yeah.
So, for example, you can have a bunch of 40-inch TVs, and you can put a bunch of them together and have like a 320-inch display. You know, you can just do crazy stuff, and you know, it 240 inches or whatever maybe. Just stacking TVs. I think that's another concept to just go into the future. Again, a lot of concepts. I say most of the TVs do come to the market, especially within the next couple of months. But Samsung finally has a bezel-less TV. We finally have bezel-less TVs. Think about that. No logos, nothing like that. Just a bezel-less TV. I give it that, but
yeah.
Honestly, that as far as the CES goes, I don't really think we've pretty much covered. We went on a few tangents, guys, but yeah, we pretty much covered most, if anything, everything as far as CES goes.
Anyway, I think we are good to wrap this up. My mum's actually literally coming home from the hospital. Yay! So we got order will be restored. So yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much for just tuning in. Just watch us just fucking talk out our asses for an hour or so. Well, I wouldn't really say that. We kind of know what we're talking about. Kind of. But yeah.
Kind of. I mean, we know about it, but we went on a few tangents and got a little off track there.
I mean, that's always going to happen when we're on the spot like this. We'll just ramble and just sometimes we get things wrong, but I can always edit out most of the mistakes.
We'll see what it's probably CES/technology chat.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to put it.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys later. Take care.